The Guzman family suffered early in the COVID-19 pandemic. September 2020 brought breathtaking loss.
My name is Katherine Guzman. This is my sister, Jennifer
Guzman.
And we lost our mother and her husband to COVID-19. But we gained two little angels who my mom adopted, and we want to continue to raise them together as a team.
Her parents add to the grim statistic that the U.S. has just crossed 1 million deaths due to COVID-19. Health researchers in the U.S. are looking back over the past 2 years, analyzing data on who died, where, and why. They say minorities were hit hard, including younger people whose jobs had them out in the public before much of the population was vaccinated.
They kept our country running, quite honestly. They kept food on our table, and they paid a heavy price for it. We as a country failed to protect our essential workers, and minorities were more likely to be essential workers.
In the early days of COVID-19 in the U.S., people were dying in urban centers. Then the virus spread to more rural areas. There was no national response to COVID-19 at the start of the pandemic. This, combined with misinformation about vaccines, kept many from getting the shot. But medical experts insist that vaccine fears were unfounded.
While we did these studies in record time, we produced the vaccine in record time, it was built on 20 years, at least, of good science, of the investment in science and study. So we were able to create a vaccine relatively quickly. And because people were not adequately communicated that message, people thought that the corners were cut, but no corners were cut.
Other experts say that local health departments across the country were ill prepared for a pandemic.
There is no question that we are reaping the harvest of decades of underinvestment in public health at national, state, city, and local levels in the U.S. as well as globally.
Globally, more than 15 million people have died of COVID-19. Many experts say we are through the worst of the pandemic in the United States.
I think that it's important for people to realize that, especially if you've been vaccinated, COVID-19 is in most cases a mild disease. No more shots! But we still have a large fraction of our population that is unvaccinated.
Between 60 and 70% of the U.S. population has been vaccinated for COVID-19, and a similar number has been infected, giving them some immunity. But experts say that as the virus evolves and mutates, ongoing boosters may be necessary moving ahead. Laurel, Bowman, VOA News, Washington.